Elijah Wood enters.
Hello.
What's going on?
Just raining in New York.
Just
traffic,
raining,
that kind of
raining.
shit.
Yeah.
Hi, Elijah.
Hey,
How you
what's
doing, buddy?
happening?
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
This is
welcome.
Rich Voss and Matt
Hello.
Serra.
Hello.
How are you?
Very
Yeah.
nice to
Nice
meet
to
you.
see you.
Matt Serra's very excited that you're here. He freaked out a minute ago when we told him you were coming.
Yeah, I don't want to bring up the whole. I mean, do you get annoyed? do you get annoyed
He's
when
even
people,
taking his hat off.
when people bring up the whole Lord of the Rings thing? Does it get a little much? Because I know you're an actor and you don't want to be like just.
What's Lord of the
people
Rings?
just.
I feel like it would
Are
be
you
pretty
fucking-
shitty if I were to start to be disingenuous about that. You
Yeah.
know? They were incredible experiences in my life, and I love those movies. So
And what?
Hi.
Yeah.
it doesn't.
They
I
were
get
great.
those films are going to live on far past.
100%. And not to
those who
throw a
made it.
curveball at you, but the follow-up movies, The Hobbit.
Yeah.
They were kind of shitty, no? What do you think? No, and I'm not saying it because I'm listening. I'm a big fan of those first three. Oh my God, nerdgasm.
Yeah.
But the follow-ups
Didn't do it for you.
and don't get me wrong, some awesome eye candy with the way they were doing everything. But
You didn't
the
like
fight
him, though.
scenes- Well,
I thought
the
Cumberbatch's
characters- I didn't think
dragon
they-
was pretty incredible.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it was great.
So
man.
you didn't like Godfather 3?
Here's the
that
thing.
too.
I loved what they did by weaving in the appendices into The Hobbit, because like all
What are
of the
appendices?
stuff-
I know what it is, but he doesn't. What
Well,
is it?
appendices of Lord of the
Goes for
Rings.
me too.
I had mine
Deal,
removed.
they deal with what is happening chronologically at the same time that Bilbo's on the journey. So
Yeah.
all that stuff with Gandalf going to deal with the necromancer and all that isn't in The Hobbit. So that stuff, which is essentially all of this sort of prelude to what ultimately becomes Sauron and Lord of the Rings,
Yes.
I found that stuff really fascinating.
Yeah. Some stuff was cool. Like you liked the backstory part of it.
Yeah.
I just some stuff with the I don't know.
The major difference of those films is that they only shot, I think, a month or two of exteriors. On Lord of the Rings, we were shooting on location all the time.
New Zealand, right?
How hard
So they
is
didn't
it?
shoot a lot of location stuff on The Hobbit.
How hard is it? You're in the character. You break the character. In life. Then you got to go back to the character. Is it hard to go back and forth through that transition? Like when you're in character and making the movie, how long? Like when you walk off the set, are you completely back to?
Yeah.
Okay. Some of them stay in character.
checking his
don't they?
ears.
That's right. No.
Elijah's
Isn't that-
Elijah's smiling, trying to answer politely.
Don't you think? No.
He wants you to ask the longer question, though.
That's a good question.
Endless.
That's
It
a
is.
good-
The first half hour of it.
Listen, you guys. First of all, I'm the biggest comic here. What I'm saying is that a normal question that you hear about?
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty, I guess, actors that stay in character all the time. Some people who have an accent will keep their accent going.
But you're not the first actor to do a sequel either, so that would be something
Right.
that actors are able to do.
Sure.
Generally,
I didn't
speaking.
expect that to happen, to go back and play that character, because obviously the character does not exist in the context of The Hobbit. He only exists within The Lord of the Rings. So it was a surprise, but yeah, it was weird. What was weird about it was how normal it felt. That's what was strange. Not that it was suddenly me playing the character again. It was weird how it felt like no time had passed. Like, it felt like time travel in a very surreal, amazing way.
Do you really wish deep down inside you did Harry Potter instead?
I can unequivocally say no.
Oh,
Actually,
This is probably a better
But
fit.
also the thing about Harry Potter too, and those films are excellent, but they were shot over a very, very long period of time. We shot Lord of the Rings really over the course of 16 months and the better part of 4 years. But that was it. Harry Potter, what is that, 8 years?
8 years,
Yeah.
8, 9 years,
That's
yeah.
a long fucking time.
And then
8
on
films, right?
in the new, it's 8 films, and then they've got the whole backstory thing going on now with Eddie
Yeah, so
Redmayne.
that
and
really is your life for
Yeah.
a very, very long time. And it was lovely to have done it. It existed in that period of time and to have moved on. I don't know about doing something for 8 years.
Matt, where are you at with
Intense.
Harry Potter?
Not
Not as a piece of shit, right? Not for you.
I'm not as into it. The younger kids, I think, grew up on that.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
didn't. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
was
missed it
already
by a
past that.
generation.
I liked the Lord of the Rings when
Amazing.
it was a cartoon movie. I don't know if
Yeah?
you've seen that. Did you ever see the cartoon movie of the Lord? We're gonna get past that shit in a second. I know you
The
want
Ralph Bakshi stuff. Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
it's
I
so
saw that.
great, man.
It's great.
So great.
All the
was-
rotoscoping they did.
What was Max Landis like? Did you work with him?
Yeah.
on this
Yeah.
show
Yeah.
because he's not the director, but he created and executive produced and
Exactly.
It's like
and Kosho ran it.
Yeah.
I mean, he was on set a lot. He's wonderful. I mean, he's an incredible writer. Have you guys ever met him?
I haven't met him, but I know him
And he's a
through-
personality. So
Yeah,
you
he's a
definitely know
super
what he's like.
personality.
He's a tornado.
Oh,
And he's
Max
also-
Landis?
Yeah.
No, never heard him.
Well, he's like this.
I've never had.
He's a young guy, and he is. I mean, he's a tornado, and he's
Yeah.
figured out a way. He kind of his projects are his projects
Completely.
You know what I mean? Like he writes for himself to
Yeah.
to
Does he,
produce
does he
exec-
edit and direct and do all that stuff?
yeah, it's his.
Okay.
It's
He's
his
directed
show.
one film, but as a writer, yeah, he's done a thing that's very unprecedented, where he's tried to get things sold that he has some degree of control over.
Yeah.
Which is really not common in
tough
the
to get done.
industry. I mean,
How many
oftentimes
guys
you
have
sell
fin-
your script and it goes, and whatever happens, happens, and you have no control.
How many
over
guys
it.
have final edit or whatever? There was Kubrick at one point, maybe Coppola. There's like very Scorsese. Almost nobody gets that the ability just to have all the say.
Filmmakers? Yeah,
Yeah.
not a lot.
And but he's John Landis's son, by the way. You know who John
Oh,
Landis
that
is.
helps.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
What did John Landis do?
American Werewolf in London.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Blues Brothers.
Whole bunch of stuff.
Right, yeah.
Did he do Caddyshack? Is that right? Or
I don't-
No, Animal House. Animal House is
Yes.
his.
Trading
Yes.
places, or am I way off? Am I way
I
off?
think he did, didn't he?
He might have.
Yeah.
Come on.
I think
Yeah,
he did.
might have.
Somebody look that shit up, please. Throwing shit that doesn't mean anything.
American Werewolf in London is incredible.
Godfather.
So you guys are doing. We were just talking about.
Yeah, what have you guys? I
How
stepped in
bizarre
on
the show is.
conversation.
'Cause I was watching the show last night,
Oh, yeah.
and what a bizarre.
Did they? How many episodes have you seen?
I've just seen the first one.
Okay.
And it's a super trippy thing. But I was wondering for you, like, to go on from Wilfred, which was a pretty
Weird. Yeah.
odd show,
Yeah.
to this. Like, is it just something where it's like, if I'm gonna do TV, it's got to be something
Weird.
way left of center?
Not entirely, but I think I'm drawn to things that feel different.
Yeah.
And feel exciting and feel as if they exist within their own universe or are trying to push things in different directions that we're not used to. That's just an exciting thing creatively to be a part of.
What was the movie you did that was where you came in and promoted? It was a bizarre movie. It was good though. You were obsessed with mannequins.
Oh, Maniac.
Oh yeah, that was an interesting
haven't
movie
seen it.
too. That was good. It was weird.
Sounds creepy.
Totally different. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a remake of a early 1980s horror film.
Yeah, with,
but we remade it where the entire thing was primarily shot from the POV of the killer.
That's right.
Yeah, it was gnarly.
Well, you don't have to. I guess you don't really have to work at this point in your life. You
That's
get to.
not entirely true.
Really?
Yeah. I have to keep working.
Well, I mean, but financially, I would imagine you're pretty well
It's not all
set.
about the money though, right? Tell him, Sam. Sam, you prostitute.
That is very true. It is not. Yeah, because I would do something else, I suppose, if I didn't. Yeah.
Right, but I mean, you get to do things that are odd.
I try to. I kind of only. I would rather not work than work on things that I don't care about.
Right.
I would rather do something else.
I've
you know,
seen-
because there's other ways to make money, and I think, I don't know, if you're in a creative field, you should be doing it because you love it and go for the things that you're passionate about. Otherwise, it can be a bit of a slog.
But when it comes to radio,
It's too
you'll do
hard.
whatever.
I mean, the work is hard.
I'm anxious to see. I haven't seen it yet, but I've seen the trailers for it. The Greasy.
Oh, the Greasy Strangler.
The Greasy
I
Strangler.
feel like
That's
you
your-
guys would love that.
That's your company that
yeah,
made
yeah,
that,
we
right?
produced it. Uh-huh.
What's it
Yeah.
about?
I mean, the
Greasy
trailer's
Strangler?
amazing.
It's such a good trailer.
Like every character in the thing, it looks from the trailer.
Yeah.
My assessment is there's a serial killer that's on the loose that strangles people and leaves them all like greasy, like Crisco and
Yeah,
shit
he
all
covers
over.
his naked body in grease and
Yeah.
goes and kills people.
Yes, but at the same time, there's this like.
It's
like,
also about a father and a son.
right, this really weird, like ugly-looking son who's got this equally odd-looking father,
Yeah.
and he gets a girlfriend, but then the father starts fucking the girlfriend.
Correct.
Oh, nice.
I mean, that's pretty much the assessment.
That's what I got
yeah.
from the trailer.
nice.
That's sort of it. And the filmmaker, Jim Hosking, he's a British director. He's done a lot of shorts and really great commercials. He really has a certain aesthetic that's very much his own.
Yeah.
He kind of creates his own worlds and populates them with kind of, a lot of the times, non-actors, or certainly actors that we're not familiar with. So it really is delving into... It's kind of like early John Waters in the sense that early
Yes.
John Waters is very definably John Waters.
Yeah.
Jim is very similar in that sense. And this movie is sort of his first feature that kind of is a long form story.
Do you like
it's
that-
super weird,
that you
very
can
funny.
get content to people now? Like, you can find an audience for things, you know what I mean? Because of digital releases and stuff like that. Like, this movie would get lost. You know, it'd become one of those cult things that you
Sure.
found on film and like, oh, what's this? What? But
Yeah,
now it's like you can get that trailer out in iTunes, etc.
Twitter.
Yeah, we were
Facebook.
we were day and date with this film, so it was released theatrically, but the same day it was released in theaters, you could get it on iTunes.
Yeah.
Which is great for a movie like this, because there was so much buzz leading up to it, because we premiered it at Sundance, that there's certainly enthusiasm for this weird fucking movie, that people can see it immediately if they want, or if they live in New York or LA and any of the places that it's playing in a theater, you can go see it too.
Going back to Max Landis, because I realized that we kind of got off track of trying to figure out what movies his dad did.
And by the way, Trading Places, Matt was correct.
Way to go,
Oh,
Matt!
thank you
Way to
guys.
go,
Thank you
Matt.
very much.
2
Thank you.
points.
Thank you.
How is he in terms of because he likes to have his hands on so much? Is he a guy that's going to tell you, and along with the director, obviously, exactly the way this story is being told, or is there flexibility to kind of move within?
It's kind of both. 'Cause it is both, yeah, because he can have very fixed ideas in his head about what he wants, but then if you show him something, he's delighted. Like, he loves you throwing new ideas at him.
Yeah.
So it's both.
And how quick does it take for you to trust a guy like that? You know what I mean? To like trust this person's vision.
I trust him instantly because of the scripts.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
the scripts were so tight and so well formed and so brilliantly, intricately plotted that it was like, this guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
So he pre-earned. See, I always say trust has to be earned. That's just kind of my motto.
That's your motto.
Sometimes you don't have enough time.
Sometimes you just get paid to trust people.
That's
you know?
Job. You know?
Yeah.
You know how many people I've trusted? Like, as soon as I'm done fucking, you don't have anything, do you? No. All right, cool.
I would just take the offer without reading the script. If someone said offer me, who cares?
Because you could.
You just like Elijah was just talking about like the integrity and doing projects he likes and stuff,
Yeah.
and then Voss on the other side. Well, if it's an offer, you should just
Take the money
it.
and run.
That's me. Well, that's me, not
That's
them.
you.
I'm just saying, I'm a comic. I'm not an actor. Someone says, "Hey, you want to do this?" Yeah. When?
Is it true that you never know from reading a script what will be a hit or a miss, or is it just your instincts, or is it somebody in your ear, like your agent or somebody saying this will be good for you, or is it your gut? What makes you?
It's always a gut response to material, but yeah, you never know how something's going to turn out.
Oh, the amount of times that I don't know if you've had this. The amount of times where it's like, this is going to be really good for you, and it's going to be huge, and it just dies. And it's not for one of people trying. It's not for it not being good. It just for some reason it doesn't hit. It doesn't come together. And then other things where you have no idea, and you think, I just love this. It's no one's going to see it, but I love it. I'm going to do it, and it just blows up.
Yeah.
I've had the first part happen, but never the second one.
Is there anything that stands out that you didn't take, and you say, you know what, I might do this, I might not, and you don't do it, and then it ends up being good, and you're like, fuck.
No.
Or no?
No. I mean, there's certainly things that I'm sure you have the same things that we go up for or audition for that we don't
Plenty
get.
that I don't get.
You know,
that you
and-
then see was huge and amazing, and
And that happens all the time. I mean, I
still have to
remember
audition?
I auditioned for Rushmore.
Oh, wow.
And I remember that audition so clearly because I had seen Bottle Rocket, and I was a huge fan of Bottle Rocket. So this is before like he became the filmmaker that we now know. And I was just so excited to meet the filmmaker of Bottle Rocket.
Right.
And I didn't get the film, but it didn't matter. It was like one of those things that it's one of my favorite movies of all time. So I don't know, man. I always feel like, and I genuinely believe this, things work out the way they're supposed to.
yeah.
Yeah.
And there have definitely been things that I've gone up for and I've missed and things that I've chosen not to do. But I always feel like they happen, everything in your life leads to the next thing, whether good or bad.
This is very Dirk Gently.
It is.
Right?
It is. Everything's connected.
Everything is
Yeah.
connected.
Everything is connected. Well, Elijah Wood is a holistic actor.
Oh, nice.
see.
Yeah.
I like it.
You guys are doing an AMA later today, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we are.
Now, I don't
2
know.
o'clock East Coast time.
I don't know who's in charge of this thing, but I want you to tell them to learn from Ken Bone's mistakes. Did you hear about what happened to him?
Well, I heard.
No,
so
I
he
didn't hear.
He had his own Reddit account.
you
that
have
would,
to new username for an AMA. You
Yeah.
need a new username.
Well, I don't actually have a Reddit username at all.
Me neither.
Okay, so we're not
I'm
gonna
not
like.
on Reddit. I'm not like trolling anything.
Do you know who Ken Bone was, Sam?
No.
So Ken Bone is the guy.
He's a
yes-
bit of a phenomenon.
Yeah.
Okay.
He got a good 5 days.
Dude,
Wow.
I knew it when it happened. When he came up and asked that question, I was like, "It's K-Bone time." Like, the internet's gonna go nuts for this,
And they did.
It exploded.
And so
This is Ken Bone. It was the second debate.
Second
right?
debate,
The,
yeah.
the town hall when people get to actually
Right.
ask questions.
Yeah.
He was one of the gentlemen that came up and asked a question. But I mean, look at this beautiful man.
So
Yeah.
the
he's
internet
so-
goes
he's
crazy
so
for him.
Awesome, but he came into a bit of controversy
He
He
did
also said Radiohead was his favorite band, by the way, which I thought was pretty awesome.
Was that buried in there under the bad stuff?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Why? What
He
happened?
did an AMA,
Right.
but he used his Reddit name that he's had for years.
Oh.
And so they just clicked his name and started going through all his old posts. And as it turns out, he thinks Trayvon Martin was justifiably murdered.
Well, he clarified
justifiable
that under a
homicide.
legal term.
Oh, yeah,
not moral,
legal
yeah.
terms. He's into pregnant porn. He loves pregnant
and
women's
he models
porn.
his own body after.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
Holocaust denier.
Of all the weird fetishes one can have, being finding pregnant women sexy is kind of all right.
That's probably the healthiest one. Like,
That's
wow,
pretty
I like
healthy,
the idea of
K-Bone.
life.
I mean,
Yeah.
he also posted a thing that said that he liked Jennifer Lawrence's butthole. So
That's healthy too.
He did.
just
He did.
little things
Great.
that
wrong with
maybe
that?
Great.
you don't
Yeah.
want as
Great.
a quote
Yeah.
attributed to your
These
name.
Sure.
are
So just
relatively
watch out for Reddit is
they're
what I'm saying.
relatively unseemly. I don't know if it's like total character assassination. But
No, you wouldn't
Right.
want. I like Jennifer Lawrence's asshole. I'd love that to be on my rip. Why not? There's
Well,
nothing
that's
wrong
because
with
for
that.
you it'd be like the healthiest thing you'd ever
Yeah, it
said.
certainly would be.
And
yeah,
why
I suppose
is this,
having said
and
that is not the best
why is this
thing.
guy
Plus, it was
famous?
also like a photo that was not. It was when all those photos were stolen.
There's the
Yeah.
fappening.
and that's not.
Right.
That's not good.
He was just a guy who asked a question at the presidential debate,
Yeah.
and the internet just went crazy for him because he's a big fat guy in a red sweater with a mustache.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
And so they just went nuts for him.
Yeah.
Well,
And a perfectly round skull.
I think people are going to go nuts for Dirk Gently's holistic
Ooh,
detective agency.
somebody went to Segway
Transition.
school.
Very
That's
good. Very good. Very good. Segway school. I want to go there.
Awesome.
You can see the show Saturday at 9 p.m. on BBC America. Sam Barnett, Elijah Wood. Thank you guys for being here. It's a really fun show, and it's very bizarre and violent, and people get shot in the head, and it's fun.
It gets weird.
Yeah.
It gets really weird.
real
Gets weirder.
It gets even weirder.
It does get
Yeah.
weirder.
It
Yeah.
continues to get weird.
Yeah.
We'll support the show. Thank you guys for being here.
Thanks
Thanks,
for
guys.
having
Thanks for
us.
having us.
And